Nakashta kunamulawaswa kefam kafka bunguno part 1235. Ompon kalashmushven by Noinstein Yaruche, Inoinstein Kasmana Lupas 16 September 2024, Niwala Belenga in a trustworthy Chisani. Ichironga Nachisusha Committee Kariachna Chalo Advocates for People's Prosperity, APP Natsumina, Mukurana Kaga Kateko Kutiro Popular, Watsalonga Requatic Kumufmo, Shababuino, Delovatile, who Tebwafia, Weko Watch Macha Zambia Nakaria Yo, Refia Refing is on the Fionse, Ferrum Linkano Wafia Mowina. Mokulanda kuba kalemba ngwere shabakono mulabaswake pamela munstaro chelo intumurusha chilonga na chaye bibimba munyamsenga batile olupapulo lulembwa n'abantu abashapulirika mufya balingiri okubomba ero n'okwikala icho batile nefyalo fyalikwata sana nefyalo fyalikwata sana obubwa fyakushinguluka fyesonde lyonse mufyo filingiri okutumpuluka ero n'okwikala Mumpapulo shafika kulingana n'ekitala kya Zambia kikote obwapya omuwine. Bamusenga batira okusanga kuli kateeka efikomo ifyabo obwafya takiro bene lelo kuli fye nga kyakutira kateeka ali mu kufaayo okubonfya imipokapoka yasha mufifulu ofimo mukutwalira okutira engekala pampando wa kutumbulushimu. Bamusenga batili bakateeka bakilema nga kyaliwo emyokweba bena Zambia mufirubo ifyo olupapulo lwine mpaku lukwete bakutila ababimbwa mulimu bashikire bamungande amafunde babombera pokupitira mu kusanshamo ebikala kyalo. Lubali rombi abali nchilolo wachiputulwa atemo wachitongo cha mikote mbati iliokulete ya shitiala kuna panchitali ntu chalo cha Zambia chileshingwa na matyayengi kulikateka baichilema walifye mofa ilo wakutila benga pumfyanya atemo kulenga abantu okute ululama tontonkanye okumila ndwi ingi kumine chino chalo cha Zambia. Bamwe namushibaya kwaba mutaro champu mukanabesa bamabumba abantu babawushimu nsumba wamanzamba rombero buteko obupya kubika kwechitesheni chakupanga malaiti ya Agripower Generation Station mu kitungu kya Rwapula Munchende omwe abamesha yenge mukupanga kwa malaiti. Bamwe namushibatire okupanga kwa echi station kuli no kulenge msepelengi mu kitungu kya Rwapula okukwata machito. Bamwe namushinaka birimba ilisheni mukubulirwa kwa pekanyo yafikapo okufuma ku buteko bwakino kyalo mukufayo okwimba kwa mulongo wa kutwala amenshi okutumya mulongo wa Lwapula n'okutwala mulongo wa kafe mukufayo okufusha amenshi kuchishiba temo mu kishiba kya Kariba mukupanga kwa malaiti ayamu kyalo icyo batire denshilo fye inga kokola lelo mulimu naumbi uwingongole chumi chikalambanga nshimu batile mulimu nakabiri nkuti wabwe sisha amakwebo panshi muno chitungu cha lwapulamu aba bamwene mushimba chilalandelelo mwishitalo chelo nabakalimba weliyasha bakunomula basangwa kepa mukupitiluka mulyashi lyakwimba kwa mulonga wakusenda mensho kufumya mumana walwapula nakutula mukafyiwe abekashabo chikumi nabakunsendea kunyumufurira muno musumba wa manza balombere guteka obupya okutila bwengalanguluka mukubukulula kwa kampani ka Manza Batteries mukutila kenga bukululanga pintu obuteka obutityo kubukulula kwa Mulungushi Textile ku Kabwe District mukulanda kuli bakalemba weliyashimba kuno muloso wa KFM lelo mushitalo chelo bakalunga piri batashishe obuteka obwa chilongano cha UPND mukubukulula kwa Mulungushi Textile otiwa icho batile chalikala pamyaka eyingi nganshuka bulokupomba bwino bapiri mbatile temulano nefyo benga bakulu balirwa misushi emitekele lelo batile chachitwe chisuma n'obuteko chiringire okutashishibwa bapiri mbatile okubukulula kwa kampani ka Mulungushi Textile kuli n'okusanyisha mwemisepere eshinga okukwata mukito kulya kumusumba wa Kabwe Eliofye n'ekitungu kyonse ekya Central batile abantu bamuno kitungu kya lwapula n'obubine mbalefu okutila ekintu ekikitike ku Kabwe kinga kitwa ku kampani ka Manza Batteries Factory mukushingisha okutila kwabo kubukulula kwa mulimo batile ibisolobesho ifinga bomfiwa mu kampani ka Manza Batteries atemwa manganizi kuti fyabafye ekitungu kyonse ekya lwapula n'okutila oyo mulimo kuti wabomba bwono nga kyakutila waleta wabukulwa apo wingaleta obuyantashimo n'ekitungu kya lwapula kwemisepela abengi amakana emisepela bengengilako amakito pali aka kampani ko batile nangu fyene kumikoti neya kwimba manganizi imisepela kuti bayingilako amakito Komva wali bakateka wachino chalo mwishta yakun mabaidi galungu ebe puisha bena Zambia kutila benga wapela na akashita na kambi akakutungulira chino chalo no kutila kuti babomba bwino kutila kenga wa mishomi kalire bakateka balungu basumena no kutila okwisako no kuchirisha kulumisha kwa makadazi ekwalengele chilongano cha Patriotic Front kutichingalusa okusala kwa chimkumba wilo kwale ku mwaka wa 2021 icho batile lyali lisambirwa likalambanga shiri basambira ko nokutile chinakabiri tatili na kuchitwa muno chalo utungushi wabo ilio bena nabambi mtungushi sha chilongano cha United Quartz Alliance bale landela bakalemba welyashi intungulushi yali kunuma ngakateka wachino chalo batile bakuti bafungulula kino ekyalo mupya buyantashinga kyakutila baterwa kashita akakutila bengateekana kabiri kyapamafye na bamembala bakilongano kyalina Red Kwacha Alliance balungwe batile balina kabiri abayipereshanga nshuku bombera n'abantu abo abasushye lintu baletekanga bakateeka wakino kyalo batile benate bangomina kumo abengomi nafye kumo kwenerero batile kuti bapindulwa nga kyakutila kulifirwa fintu balepanga abali bakateeka nakabiri balandire nakabiri kwali fintu fimwe fishabombera obwino mu buteeko ira batile hiryo bakitekere abantu bamwe babikire mu fifulo kutila benga bomba omulimo kanyishita bali mu bwanshiko bwalekabirwa hiryo ninshi beno bakitekere kutila omulimo lebombwa kwa mfano kabiri ntungurusha yakilonga na Zambia Wake Up Party ba zawapa mu kwipifya ba Howard Kunda batile dakiri kyayangwa kutila kateeka wakino kyalo engatwalira kuba mwihope shida kutungurusha pa myaka kine konse okwawula okusera kwa kinkumba bwere pamulandu fye wafimo fimwe fya omukikomo kyalo populo kyalo okulubanako bakunda batile n'abapapushi bapakala mbanga nshuko bakateeka bakalinda ekirema balandire mu nshita ya nombaline babirishe kukyalo kutila olu lupapulo lwalikwata fimofimo ifishafikapo bwino n'okutila ekirimu kuti kyalengako okutwalira kwakwakateeka mwewopeshere kutungulushi mukulanda mpamula baso wa Ken Radio bakunda basakamene kufye bakateeka bakirima na kabiri basakamene nganshi pali pakyabo muri olu lupapulo n'okutila kutukwaba okuseshako kwa nshita yakuba mwewopeshere ninshi olupapulo lumalwine elo abalengera okutila bakateeka wakino kyalo abali kalishire wamunganda y'amafunde nakabiri pansheko kateeka wakino kyalo okutila bengalafwa isha n'okutilisha abantu bakubapanda amanu mufya amafunde abafikapo okutila fyokulalula amafunde ilyo ninshi n'okuyomfwikisha tabali yomfwikisha balondera pona okutila obuteeko bwakilonga China Red Party for National Development ceremony kokuba ekyapambana nganshi mukutwalirwa okutila kinga bamwihofeshi neryo ninshi kyalifira okutila kinga pishapo ifyo bakasala balekabira ate mu ifyo balebala ya panchita yakubongola bakunda batira ekyalo kya Zambia n'akipanga obusalo bwafikapo obwakutila kirina okwisafunyapo obuteeko bwakilongano kya UPND mu kusala okulina okwisabako kwa kikumbawire mu mwaka wa 2026 nebakomfa empera Eliashi nshita yakasuba Eliashi mukibemba Eliashi nimwe mukibemba twalamireko nshita yachungulo pa 1745 Nelapata 18 hours twalamireko Eliashi mu Chingereshi twalina okutika nakule fimbi fyo mulabaswana ke FM omitandikireko
If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Nice pan.
Indica mais de ter um pouco. Tirar.
and Resort. See you there.
You're listening to KKKFM live on your FM dial.
Summer.
95.5.
music, and sports.
Everything.
Welcome to 95.5.
The Kyoto News. The Kyoto News. The Kyoto News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Welcome to the afternoon news bulletin. Today, the 16th of September 2024. To present it, I'm Jack Mapembulo. We first take a look at the top stories. Laz says the election date cast in stone. Government says provincial high courts to expedite delivery of justice. Chief Justice Mumba Madira has retained home. And in international news, man who attacked Comoros president dies. In international news, man who attacked Comoros president dies in cell, and Man City's hearing for 115 charges begins.
The Kyoto News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
And now the news in detail. The Law Association of Zambia said that the date of holding a general election in Zambia is cast in stone despite the constitution having some lacuna. They say there is no provision in the constitution permitting anybody or organ of the state, including the Electoral Commission of Zambia, to defer elections. Laz has censured President Hakainde Hichilema for claiming that there is a possibility that Zambia could go for 8 to 9 years without holding its every 5-year periodical elections on account of the constitution having gaps. The statement comes at the request from many sections of society to guide on the lacuna to make Zambia not hold elections, as stated by President Hichilema in his address to Parliament. The opposition advocate for People's Prosperity, APP, says the Zambian constitution has lacunas like any other constitution that exists in the world. APP President Mwenyamusenge says the constitution is drafted by humans and is bound to have gaps of controversy. Speaking to KFM News this morning, Mr. Musenge says identifying the lacunas in the Zambian constitution is a good thing, but warned that the UPND must not use that to perpetuate their illegal stay in power. He says the president was not clear on which lacunas could extend his stay in power and wondered why he did not state the specific articles to help legislators work on them. Meanwhile, the APP leaders condemned the utterances by the president on the existence of lacunas in the constitution at a time when the nation is facing many problems. Musenge says that there are more important things that need the president's focus and must be urgent things to act on. He says hunger, the power deficit, and the high cost of fuel must be the things to worry the president more now. Chief Justice Mumba Madila has retained home after undergoing specialized treatment in South Africa following a road accident which he was involved in on August 30, 2024. Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana says the Chief Justice has made substantial progress in his recovery and continues to recover. Mr. Kawana says government is grateful to the medical teams in both Zambia and South Africa for their exceptional professionalism and dedication, which ensured that the Chief Justice received the best possible care. He says government is also thankful to the public for their unwavering support, prayers, and well wishes during his challenging time. Vice President Mutale Nalumango says government has established high courts in every provincial capital to ensure efficient delivery of justice. Ms. Nalumango says government wants to ensure justice is accessed by all, as demonstrated by the increased budgetary allocation to criminal justice institutions to enhance their operations. She has also tasked criminal justice institutions to build on the experience and capacity of each other to provide practical prevention and response mechanisms to crime. The Vice President was speaking when she opened the National Annual Prosecutors Conference in Lusaka today. Meanwhile, Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Gilbert Piri said the fight against crime is a global concern which requires international collaboration to be successful. And Attorney General Mulilo Kabesha has challenged prosecutors to ensure that justice prevails. Prosecutor General of Namibia, Olivia Imaru, has said international collaboration of criminal justice institutions will assist to recover resources and assets of one country that were corruptly acquired and hidden in other countries. The Law Association of Zambia LA's President Ngisani Zulu, who was represented by LA's Vice President Matilda Kauma, said transnational crimes and cyber criminals are becoming sophisticated and cannot be controlled if prosecutors or law enforcers work in isolation. A resident of Nyomufurira has urged the New Dawn administration to reopen Mansa batteries in the same way it has revived Mulungushi Textile in Cabo District. Speaking to KFM News, Kalunga Piri has praised UPND government for bringing Mulungushi Textile back to life after years of being a white elephant. Mr. Piri says the revival of Mulungushi Textile will employ a good number of youths in Cabo and Central Province. He says the people of Luapula Province want to see the same thing happen to Mansa batteries, which was closed many years ago. He says all needed raw materials are available in the province, and reviving the factory would spur development and employ youths in the province. The Socialist Party SP youths in Lusaka have charged that party president Dr. Fred Membe has the passion to serve the Zambian masses through the socialist movement with a prudent vision and objective to creating a socialist society in the country. The SP youths in Lusaka have also congratulated Dr. Membe following his re-election as party president in Lusaka yesterday during the SP Second National Congress. SP Lusaka Province Youth League Secretary Bartolomeo Boshapiri says Zambia needs Dr. Membe and the Socialist Party more than ever. He said Dr. Membe is the only hope and the answer to the humiliations and torture that this country is subjected to by the imperialist puppets. He also said Zambia has no visionary leadership in place, saying the people have swallowed the bitter pill under the UPND that has no cure and relief in the last 3 years of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema's administration. Before we take a look on the international news, a recap on local news headlines. LAS says the election date cast in stone. Government says provincial high courts to expedite delivery of justice. Chief Justice Mumba Malira has retained home. And coming up, man who attacked Comoros president dies in cell. And Man City hearing for 115 charges begin.
The KFM News. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
A man who was arrested for attacking the Comoros president with a knife on Friday has been found dead in prison, the authorities say. The attack took place during a funeral for a well-known religious leader and injured President Azaria Soumani, and National Prosecutor Muhammad Junaidi said that after being arrested, the attacker had been isolated in a cell to calm him down. He said a lifeless body was found lying on the floor of the cell on Saturday morning. The motive for Friday's afternoon attack is not clear, but the authorities are looking into it. They have identified the knife man as a 24-year-old soldier called Ahmed Abdul, AFP reports. Witnesses told AFP they saw the man in the room where well-wishers were paying their respect to the deceased. Devastating floods collapsed walls at a jail in Maiduguri in northeastern Nigeria early last week, allowing 281 prisoners to escape, prison authorities said on Sunday. 7 of the escaped inmates have been recaptured in operations by security agencies. Umar Abubakar, spokesperson for the Nigeria Correctional Services, said in a statement. Operations to recapture the remainder of the inmates were underway, said. Maiduguri is the capital of Borno State, which early last week suffered its worst floods in decades. The flooding began when a dam overflowed following heavy rains, decimating a state-owned zoo and washing crocodiles and snakes into the flooded communities. The flood has killed at least 30 people, according to the country's emergency agency, and affected a million others, with hundreds of thousands of people forced into camps for displaced people. In sports, the hearing into Manchester City's 115 charges for alleged breaches of the Premier League financial rules begins on Monday. City were charged and referred to an independent commission in February 2023 following a 4-year investigation. It is alleged City breached its financial rules between 2009 and 2018. City strongly deny all charges and have said their case is supported by a comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence. The Premier League claims City breached rules requiring the club to provide accurate financial information that gives a true picture and a fair view of the club's financial position. This information covered club revenue, which includes sponsorship, income, and operating costs. It has also accused the Premier League champions of not cooperating. City have won 8 league titles, multiple cups, and Champions League since their 2008 takeover by the Abu Dhabi United Group. Before we wind up the news, a recap on the top stories. LAS says the election date cast in stone. Government says provincial high courts to expedite delivery of justice. Chief Justice Mumba Malira has retained home. In international news headlines, man who attacked Comoros president dies in cell, and Man City's hearing for 115 charges begins. Ends the news at 13 hours.